All right, Drew. So, at the beginning of the lesson series, one of the things you talked about was, your lack of wedge shots. You always felt like you could only hit one shot, and that shot was the high shot, the high normal wedge. Obviously, that's a great shot to have when we're working on, tucked in just over a bunker. But when we're working on a green like this, you have so much room to let the shot chase up. Okay, and you don't have a way of airmail on the green with it, obviously. Which this green airmail on the green is what causes that number. Going back of how can I shave some strokes, this is one of those areas where you can shave it. So I'll have you hit one here, and like we talked about, you said, like we talked on the range, you played a lot of your wedge shots very neutral in your stance, very kind of middle of the stance. Never really looked at putting it back in your stance and trying to flight it. So what we're going to do here is flight our wedges by putting it back in our stance with a little bit more open of a stance, because you got to be able to cut through that ball and flight a little bit lower and take that draw away that you can hit with those wedges.
More narrow, a little open.
Yep, and like I said, it's the same as the chipping too, with that little shaft plane and stuff like that. Anything you can help to kind of promote that ball from going lower. The effective part about this is a shot that you're able to use, on all things. Like you mentioned wedges, but I'm guessing if you struggle with wedges, it's the same as hitting a fighting shot with an iron. And it's the same exact swing kind of thing. And how you can build and grow off of that is, with the practice of knowing, okay, I felt like I swung into my my shoulders there, and it went X amount of yards. A lot of people like to work on a clock system too, and you doing that can be very beneficial to you. Working on that clock system, saying like, okay, I feel like I swung at 9 o'clock, it's 50 degree wind, 105 yards. Okay, so what happens if I swing less, like hit 5 balls, see what the distance is there. Okay. So we'll just hit one more here. Try to mimic what we just did there, because that was really good. Good, and from what I've seen too on the range and stuff like that, and playing some rounds with you, I know that is significantly lower.
Oh, yeah.
So it was very minimal changes too. Like we just moved the ball back, opened the stance, and that was about all we had to do to change that flight in the wedge. So good work.